Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Eliza, and I'm the media coordinator here at SAS Marketing. Today I have a SAS client partner, Rachel Marcel, with me. Hi, Rachel, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, Eliza. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Before we start with the questions, I just want to know a little bit more about you and your career trajectory.
Oh, thank you for asking, Eliza. About me, I currently work with SAS Marketing, which is a family company, originally founded by myself and my husband, Ahmed Ali. It is a company that was born out of a freelancing business. Essentially, we started working with small businesses and startups in around 2014, 2015 together. It's 2015. Years just fly by, so forgive if I mix anything up. But we just kept finding this demand for small business owners that were looking for help on an as-needed basis, and the demand continued. And then up until 2017, when we established the business, that's kind of how we got started. So before that, and this is like how I actually got into the world of call centers and telemarketing and sales and customer service. I worked for a pretty big company called Sears for almost 10 years. There I did all types of positions from outbound calling, call center manager, or team lead, team manager, collections, escalations. So that's kind of like how my career really developed, was through that experience at Sears. Before that, I'd worked for another small business in the customer service, sales support realm. So that's kind of the world that I've been in for a long time. And as far as how that experience fits into the what we're doing now with SAS Marketing, I think it's been really a good foundation for understanding how businesses work, how to provide customers with a good experience, and also how to work well on a team, especially a remote team.
I wanted to know a little bit more about why the telemarketing business. How did you start within that niche?
As mentioned, I was freelancing along with my husband, Ahmed Ali, for, 2 to 3 years. We were looking for remote opportunities and, picked up different contracts here and there. It just happened to be all with small businesses that needed some type of outreach marketing support. And we just realized, this is something that we have background in, we enjoy doing it, and there are people that repeatedly come to us and look for support with their needs in this realm. So it just made perfect sense for us to pursue this full time as a business.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. And what was the motivation behind starting SAS specifically?
So, because we had already established relationships with clients and just found that book of business growing, we realized that it wasn't something that we could continue to operate um, on like as individuals. If you want to do the right thing for your customers, for yourself, from a tax perspective, from a liability or responsibility perspective, you really should have a company. So we decided to, become not just freelancers. Nothing wrong with freelancers at all, right? But at all. We just decided, like, let's make this official and put all of the pieces in place that we need to just make sure that we are, we're not operating anymore as just like, Rachel online or Ahmed online or Lisa online. We're now an established corporation that's going to be here for you in the long run, and that's why we decided to, become a company officially. We want people to know that we're here to support them for the long haul.
Sounds good. And I wanted to know about how you think cold calling, or why cold calling remains such a powerful tool right now, especially in this hyper digitalized world.
Yeah, so cold calling is so important now, and like we thought for a while that email and text and robots would replace all of our jobs, including cold calling, but the opposite has happened. Um, Now, especially with COVID, you can't just go visit with people. You can't go knock on doors. There are also other concerns in the world that make those type of activities either unsafe or undesirable, whether it's like for a safety issue or maybe it's not efficient driving around and being a road warrior anymore. So a lot of the way that sales are done is still focused on relationships. Those relationships often will start with some type of dialogue, and having a person who knows how to cold call, who knows how to open up that conversation is so important for businesses that want to get new clients, and that's what's made it more relevant than ever.
Right. Um, I wanted to know a little bit about more about your team, or I wanted our viewers to know that I am part of your team actually. I wanted to ask about the breadth of experience and skill set that your team comes with. What should clients really expect when they do hire your team?
So, Eliza, one thing that I really love about our company, of course, I love our company, but what I think makes it like more exciting than some of the other telemarketing organizations or outsourced business partners, business development partners that you might find out there is that we don't just look for somebody that can pick up the phone and dial. We look for people who are reliable, who have a really good level of professional experience and education. Education can be informal or self-taught, right? But when it comes to the skill sets of people on our team, the first thing that we look at is the personal characteristics or qualities that make us believe this is somebody that we can trust. We believe then our clients can trust them. So we look for people that have integrity, empathy, and great communication. Those are the really important skills that I believe everybody on the SAS marketing team has. Um, After that, we look for people that are really comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. It's not easy to just pick up a phone and call a stranger. So we look for people that do have that sales and customer service experience, with people that are able to kind of put themselves in front of the customer and give everything that they need to be able to introduce opportunities, but also help the customer walk through a decision-making journey and understanding that how and why they should work with our clients. Last but not least, we're really tech-friendly people. We're definitely not engineers or anything like that, but we're very agile in terms of being able to jump into different systems and work with multiple screens, and we're in and out of like dozens of applications on a regular basis. So having a really good working understanding of just modern computing, or not computing, but like computer technology, CRMs, ATSs, database software, VoIP software. Those are the other skills that our team brings to the table.
Okay, sounds good. And seeing how diverse your team is, what are the benefits of having this company working remotely from different parts of the world?
Well, working with people from across the globe, working remotely is a benefit because you are able to expand your vision and viewpoint as an employee, as a manager, as a client. You just get a perspective that you wouldn't get if you were working with people that were physically or geographically near to you. And that is something that I believe benefits our clients, just having that realm of or access to that, realm of, hey, like, we definitely understand the U.S. market, but guess what? Even within the U.S. market, there are so many types of people that come from all over the world. It's great to have an understanding of how they expect to do business and how they expect to be treated and how they like to be interacted with.
That's great. That's true. I want to move from that a little bit and talk about the clients or the types of clients that SAS works with, without going into detail, of course. What are your preferences in terms of working with a certain kind of industry?
So industry, we're flexible. We just happen to find that we partner best with certain types of companies because of our skill set, and because of the needs that our clients have. Those tend to be other marketing agencies, not the type of marketing agencies that necessarily offer the service that we offer to our clients. They may offer their clients a package and then want to outsource a certain part of that, which would be like the telemarketing piece. We work well with them. Also, marketing agencies that are digital online, but they still need somebody on the phone to do their business development. Those are, companies that are great to work with because they understand what we do, we understand what they do, so we just mesh really well. Other companies that we work well with are real estate industry. A big part of real estate, again, is being on the phone, having those relationships, being on the hunt, that cold calling element. Any growing real estate investor or agent either does it themselves or needs somebody to do it for them. So we have really good experience and working relationships with folks in that industry. And then we also work with companies that are in like service or construction. These types of companies kind of coincide with real estate or real estate related matters, and I would say that would be the reason why. But last but not least, I know I'm saying, we have our favorites, and I'm naming a lot, but last but not least, we have companies who do executive search or staffing. I'm not going to say recruiting is sales, executive search isn't sales, but again, like, we're hunters. We're people that we go out and we scour the web or we scour the world around us looking for people to introduce opportunities to that make sense for them. It's a matter of being able to qualify, filter, and then deliver an end result. Similar to sales, not exactly the same, but the processes that we follow are very close, and for that reason we work well with those types of businesses also.
Great, thank you. I wanted to ask about campaigns. I think it helps to kind of talk about the resources and practices you utilize that set you apart from other telemarketing companies. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
I would think that the first thing that sets us apart from other telemarketing companies is our process. We do have a process. It's a process that we, like to follow because we know that it works. And how that's different from other telemarketing companies is, I think that number one, our focus again is on talent. We look at who we have carrying out the work, how they'll follow the process, and what type of return on investment this will deliver for our customer. After that, the tools, yes, we have our own systems, and they work for us pretty well, but I think that, we have a good understanding of like the basic applications that everybody uses. Microsoft Office Suite, if there's a CRM that, is pretty user friendly, that anybody that's been in a CRM is, can just jump in. We're really good with jumping in and learning those types of applications quickly. And that's an advantage to our customers because, like, a lot of customers, especially in marketing, they don't want somebody else to control their data. They want to be able to house their data in their own systems, and you kind of join their system as a guest. So, just knowing that there's a company that, you don't have to spend hours and hours getting them accustomed to your system, they can get in there pretty quickly, is beneficial to them. And I think it's different because some telemarketing companies, they have their own software. We're not a software company, and I don't think that's something that we plan to be. Our goal is to deliver the, outsourced sales team. So I hope that answers your question.
It does, yes. Thank you. That's very clear, actually. And I think it helps to create a successful campaign when clients as well as their marketing teams are on the same page. So with that in mind, I know this might not be the best question, but what is your ideal client?
Every company has an ideal client, so I'm not going to, pretend that we don't also. Of course, an ideal client, in full transparency, is a good communicator, because if your client lays everything out for you and they give you the information that you need, you can go and do a great job for them. Every business that provides a service to another company knows that if they're missing information about the project that they're executing on, they're not going to do as well. And that means their customer is not going to be happy. And nobody likes to deal with unhappy customers. So the first thing that we try to do is, start the relationship the right way by making sure that we understand our clients' expectations and know as much as we possibly can. Again, the communication is a big piece, because nothing's perfect, and you're still going to have questions as you go. As you continue to learn, right? You continue to learn their company and you work with their customers, you're going to have new things come up all the time. So it's really nice to be able to work with a business that answers their messages, answers their emails, is willing to have meetings with you. And again, the purpose of that is to be able to really give them what they need and make them happy, because if they're happy, we're happy.
Great, thank you. And in terms of input and feedback, first, how much of an input do you look for from the client? How involved can a client get when, let's say, creating a script or developing a strategy in terms of reaching out to their clients or their prospects?
So some of our clients come to the table with everything, and they have a script, and they've used it before and it works, and we are perfectly fine with doing what our clients ask us to do. We do provide an ad hoc service. I cannot, say that there haven't been times that clients say, hey, can you say this or can you do this? And we're like, we've done that before, or we've, talked to people that have done that before, and that may not be the best idea. Here's why. So, while we're really happy to use other people's scripts, we just, or our client scripts, we just also want to be able to have that dialogue with them if there's something that we're not fully comfortable with. If there's something that, is in their script and we don't think it will work for them, we'll let them know. But we provide an ad hoc solution. We're tailored, and we try to do it, they'd like. Some of our clients come to us and they don't have everything that they need to start a sales campaign. And our job is to look at what they do have and fill in those gaps for them. We are, at the end of the day, very focused on the phone, but we do know what it takes to sell and get a new product off the ground, or a new service or company off the ground. Not everything can be done on the phone, and even when you're on the phone, there are things that have to happen when you're off the phone to continue the conversation. So if our client is missing things like, from the very beginning, a list of leads, if they're missing clear defined goals, if they're missing marketing collateral, it's our job to say to them, hey, this is what you need. This is how we're going to be able to make a campaign successful. If you don't have it already, let's work together on how to get it so that we can make sure that your investment isn't wasted. I'm not saying that we do everything for them. Like if a client comes to us and they don't have a website, no, we're not going to build the website because that's not what we do, but we could say, hey, you need to have a website. You know, if they have a website that's like older or maybe it's outdated or not fully functional, we'll say, hey, these are the things that we see wrong with the website or that need to be upgraded for you to optimize your results. Because, you know, just as an example, we're on the phone, we're calling up a prospect. The prospect says, well, what's your website? We're directing people to that, right? That's why I'm referring specifically to a website, even though there are other, you know, elements that come into play. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that we're going to do everything that they need within the sales campaign, but we will make sure that we are able to advise them and give them real feedback on what they would need in order for us to do the best possible job.
In terms of reporting, how does that work, and how in depth does your analysis go when you're reaching out to the client to tell them how successful you've been?
So reporting, again, that's something that's ad hoc. It depends on what the client wants to see. Naturally, we know and have an idea of what most important metrics are, but every business is different, so there are going to be different things that companies or clients want to look at. However, you know, the reporting should be established before the campaign begins. There needs to be a way for data to be collected and saved, then extracted from whatever system we're using, right, so that we can then pull it down and review it, let the client know this is what's happening, for our own assessment. You know, what do we need to do better? What are things that we're doing that are working? So from the reporting standpoint, we're looking at our inputs, what activities we do, and then the results. That's how we know whether we're successful, and why we insist on reporting on all of our contracts or projects with our clients, because it really shows if we're delivering what we said we would for them.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. And thank you, Rachel, for answering all of my questions. And thank you to our viewers for watching. I hope to see you soon. Hopefully, we'll be meeting again on Monday. But I'll come back with some more questions when I do.
Thank you, Elisa. I appreciate you doing this on a Saturday. You're so dedicated, and I love that.
All right. Thank you, Rachel.